Ooh! Ow. Get your sketchbooks out. Everybody's drawing. That's what it's about.
It's what it's about.
Quarantine is boring.
Quite boring.
Get your sketchbooks out.
I got my sketchbook out.
Lock down life drawing.
Oh, welcome to week 2 of Lockdown Life Drawing. Sorry, I had a little bit of trouble there trying to get the theme tune to play and everything. But thank you so much for sending in your work last week. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, it's time for some drawing, time for some you time. Get away from the news, the stress, get your sketchbook, and let's draw together. Okay, we got nearly 80 people joining in today. Brilliant. I just wanted to say before we start, thank you so much for the response last week. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, absolutely incredible. Sorry, let me think. Blown away. I was so blown away by everyone's response and all the emails that we were getting. It was brilliant. I don't know if you can tell. If you don't know me, you probably can figure out that I love drawing. And to be able to share that and to inspire, and to get people drawing was just a dream come true. So, brilliant. And YouTube took us down, but we got back up. Hopefully no takedowns this week. If we go anywhere, you know where I've gone. I will be back up. Just check the channel and there'll be a video back up very shortly. Shouldn't be a problem though, because we're doing portraits today. Okay, so portraits. Let's have a look at the schedule. Let's see what we're doing. All right. Okay, facial features. We've got, going to run through some of the features. So we've got eyes, nose, mouth, and hair. Going to take you through some tips and tricks. Then we've got a little famous faces segment. And then putting it all together. So putting it all together into our first portrait. Hi guys. Yeah. Putting it all together into our first portrait. Then that all-important tea break, and we've got a brilliant artist. We're going to speak to Peter Keegan, who is a professional portrait painter. I'm really excited to have him on the stream. Lots to talk about, and then we're going to finish off with another slightly longer portrait. So using the skills that you've learned, we're going to put them into the test in another portrait, and then view a gallery. Hopefully, get some more of your images in. And a Q&A. So just like a chit chat like before, you can join in on the Discord channel. The Discord channel it's like Skype or something, and it's in the description, okay, of the video, so you can find that there. You can join in on your mobile or at your computer. Brilliant. Let's get started. Okay, so where were we? Artist spotlight. We've done that. Eyes. Okay, we're going to start off with eyes. Hello. Right. So get your sketchbook. Get your sketchbooks out. And let's have a go with some eyes. Now, I'm just going to go have a sip of water. Okay. So, I'm back. Eyes are tricky business. Can be difficult. But hopefully not. So first thing I would say that we get wrong, problems to kind of call out initially, okay, is the shape of the eye. Okay, so when we go to draw eyes, quite often we go for this sort of almond shape. Can you see that? I did that quite small. Or like a circular shape. But normally we see these almond-shaped eyes, okay, all over portraits, and a nice circular iris there. But what I want you to do, I've given you quite a difficult image to start with. The face is at an angle and everything, but we're really going to focus on the actual shape here. Okay, so if you look, I'll go underneath here. You've got this tear duct, okay. And at the bottom is curving round, it meets, and then this top lid is sort of, I want you to imagine it sort of wrapping round the ball of the eye, okay? And quite importantly, so we've got this tear duct thing here, okay, we've got stuff going on at the top, but importantly, instead of it being a circle in the middle, I want you to look at how the iris is actually cut through. You know, it's not all of the iris is shown there, where the eyelid is cutting through that shape. Okay, so these are some of the things we want to look out for. Sorry, I did a little bit small for you, but I want us to start this together with an eye line. Okay, so this is your chance to draw. Grab your sketchbook. Let's start with this eye line, and you can see it's at an angle. Okay, really important that we get the eyes at an angle, at the right angle. Okay, so put that nice confident line over our paper at an angle, and then you can see I've put little markers for the eyes. Okay, so if you do one eye and then roughly another eye between that and another eye across the other side of the face, and there's a little bit of perspective on here, so it's nearer here and it's further away here. So let's put them guidelines in, okay? And that is really how I would start any portrait, any eyes on the head. Okay, so I'm going to give you 5 minutes, and really we're warming up. You know, no stresses. Let's just, using this guideline, let's try and put in these eyes now. Okay, so I'll leave up the guidelines for a few more seconds, then I'll take them away. So these are the corners of the eyes, and we can use them as a nice guideline. All right, I'm taking away that guide now, and we'll see how we get on. Okay, so really looking at the shapes of the eye, trying to stay away from that almond shape, and really looking and seeing what's there. Yeah, we're drawing 2 eyes. The reason I put 2 eyes at the top of the screen, changed it around a little bit, is because if we drew 1 eye, we drew 1 eye perfectly, great. But if it's not corresponding with the other eye on the face, then we've got problems, right? So it's another little bit of practice for you to be drawing the eyes together. Okay. So just see what you can get down. So remember, we're wrapping around. I want you to imagine the eye as a big ball here, 2 big balls, and you're wrapping around them balls. little suggestion of the eyebrows, maybe the side of the face. How are you getting on? Used to cover up the eyes with some hair. That's that's another good strategy. So I've got some wonky eyes in now. Fantastic. Let's just warm up. I've got a minute and a half left, so I'm going to block in some shadow where I see it. That's with the side of the pencil. Another good thing to note, the whites of the eyes aren't necessarily white, so we can dull them down a little bit with the pencil. See this corner of the eye there, it's really dark actually. And another thing with eyelashes, okay, it can be very tempting to kind of draw each individual eyelash like this, but try and group them together. Okay, so try and just block them in, try and group them together, because at a distance you're not going to notice that. Look at how the shadow is affecting around the eye. Okay, I don't think I'm going to get to this one in time. A little bit wonky, this guy. Brilliant. Okay, how did you get on? That's 5 minutes on the eyes. We're going to go through the features. Right. Next one. Nose. Oh, still got the eyes. So, new page. So now this guy, I don't trust you not to draw the rest of the face, so I've done a nice little frame. And I've also, I've got another layout, I'll talk to you about that in a second. So, the nose, okay, nose often, I think it gets neglected quite often, okay. I don't like drawing them. They're always the thing that I want to study last and the thing I want to put in last. But you know, they're a really important part of the face. So let's have a look. It can be good to think of the nose as a box. Okay, so this one sort of coming out of the face. That's a box, and it's got this kind of these sides. Okay, so you've got this side and the bottom side. This would be in shadow, and the bottom would be in shadow as well. But it's also got light coming from this way. Also, another thing to be careful of with the nose is nostrils. So quite often we can see drawings where you've got a lot of attention paid to the nostrils. Okay, so it's almost like too big, maybe a triangle and too big dots, because we know, you know, kids learn by feeling and touching. I'm sure everyone's picked their nose once in a while, so maybe when you were younger. But these nostrils, okay, we want to downplay them. We don't want to just put these dark marks on the face. So one little trick I show people is think of two brackets, okay, and a seagull. Okay, so I've got my two brackets and a seagull. Okay, there's a little cartoon nose there. So two brackets and a little seagull in between. Gives you this funny little nose shape. But if we wanted to take another look at this guy's nose, okay, I can't quite see, you know, we're going to need a little bit more tonal, a bit more sophistication on the drawing. So let's break it down into the light and the dark. Okay, I've outlined the light and the dark parts of the nose. and it looks like a mess. I don't know, it looks like almost like a football boot and a little goldfish, or I don't know, something. So it's completely abstract. So if you can break down shapes and think of them in this way, and squint your eyes a little bit and try and see the darks and the lights, that's going to help you tackle these difficult features. Can you see how on the right side, I don't know what I'm pointing at, on the right side of the nose there, a little bit of shadow is kind of describing the right side of the nose. So, thinking back to that symbolism way of drawing, how we would draw as a child, we wouldn't necessarily think of that. So let's give this a go. Okay, 5 minutes. We're just going to block out the shape and try and focus on separating light and dark like this. Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes. Let's have a go. Here we go. Yeah, I got the email correct. Spelt schedule correctly this week and everything, yeah. Alright, so let's block this out. Let's give it a go. The really only way to tackle this is to look for the shadow shapes. Got out sort of the seagull, lopsided seagull, and the brackets to start me off. That's the comfort zone, I guess. Okay, let's get some shadow in. Okay, so to try and make sense of it, come in a little bit darker. As I said, I hate drawing noses. Absolutely hate it. It's good to challenge yourself. I'm trying not to panic and just going back to them shadow shapes, maybe squinting my eyes a little bit. Okay. Try and get a bit of this core shadow. Hi Carl, good to see you. I'm glad you find them difficult too. Cool, we're up to nearly 100 viewers. Amazing. Welcome everyone. got a minute left on this sketch. So what am I missing? His nose. Sort of. I think I need to put some tone in, even on the light side of the face, and then pull out some highlights with a rubber. Okay, I can't wait to go on the next drawing. I don't know about you guys. Okay, that's it. Nose done. So try and stay away from making too much of the nostrils. Okay, think about the nose as a block and the sides. So maybe, you know, we could have made the light stronger here, and really showing the light hitting the nose. Okay. What's next? Mouth. Have a look at the mouth. So really nice image. I try and draw a little bit larger for you. Okay, so the mouth. Okay, first thing with the mouth is it creates this kind of wacky M or W shape, or an M and W. You see, this kind of thing. So, and it's an occlusion shadow. Okay, that means when things touch each other, the light can't get in, and it's creating this dark line. Okay, that's what we're seeing in the middle of the lips. I'll show you with a little highlight. There you go, that occlusion shadow. So take your fingers like this and just press them together, and you'll see an occlusion shadow happening there. Okay, you get a little dark line in between your fingers. Okay, so that's what we're looking for with the mouth. That shape is really important. Okay, that kind of W or M. So really look out for that in the particular portrait. Then another good point, okay, is the corners of the mouth. Now we've got these kind of circular, it's like donut shaped muscles, okay, at the corners of the mouth, and you'll notice that there's always shadow there. Okay, so if you imagine them being a donut, and in the center of the donut there's the hole there, and there'll be shadow there. The really good thing to keep in mind. And another thing is, you guessed it, your darks and lights. Okay, so thinking of, this is an exaggerated example of the darks and lights, but thinking of the mouth, normally, not always, depends on the lighting on the model, but you're going to have a very strong shape on that top lip, okay, and then shadow underneath the mouth, right, and maybe that connects up. But that, can you see that in itself, the shape of the top lip, because that's facing down, okay, light's coming from this way, the shape of the top lip, and just a little suggestion under the bottom lip is going to produce a nice mouth effect straight away. So look out for that. We won't find it in every portrait, but look out for it. Okay, let's have a go at drawing this. Okay, there we go. Start the timer, 5 minutes. Good luck, everyone. Okay, so what's that line doing? It's sort of perhaps going down in the middle. and it's got a wobble at the sides. Something like that. Okay, and then remember you've got them donut muscles at the side of the mouth. Don't forget this little bit below the nose. I think it's called the philtrum. I don't know, I'm not 100%. Put a little bit of shadow there. Okay, so let's shade in the top lip. Then work out where the shadow is under the lip. All of this side of the face is going to be in shadow. So try not to outline the lips, but really look at the tonal planes. Hey, 100 watchers, woohoo! Thanks, guys. I think I went a bit large with the top lip, but not to worry. How are you guys getting on? Hey Graham, nice to see you. What pencil am I using? I'm using a 6B. This is a Faber-Castell 9000. They're a nice smooth pencil. Brilliant. Okay, time's up. Well done on your drawing your mouth. I'll give you a little moment to finish up. So next we're looking at hair, and Hair is something again that I really like to draw. Really good fun to draw. Here we go. Oh, hey, it's me. There we go. Hair. Oh no, that's mouth again. There we go. Okay. Hair. Right. How do you approach hair? Quite a tricky thing. One thing I'd say: be careful of the kind of I call it the mop, where you've got, you're trying to draw perhaps every single strand of hair coming down the face, and you end up with this kind of mop and bucket type look. Okay. And although that's what you can see and that's what hair is like, these individual strands, we want to look at it in a more abstract way, okay, to really make sense of it on the page. So what I suggest, and those of you at my life drawing class will recognize this, think of hair as ribbon. Okay, now look at the way ribbon reacts to light. The light reacts on ribbon. We've got these lovely changes of tone. Okay, it's going where it's hitting the light up the top here. It's getting some lovely. There we go. Lovely highlights, and then gradually going into dark. And if I did a little bit of a wave, like a haircut, perhaps. There we go. See that? Nice transitions from light to dark. And even, there is some reflective highlights every now and again. So think of ribbon when drawing hair. And also, I know this is the back of the head and we're going to be drawing the front of the head, so there'll be less hair. But it's good to just block out the shape of the hair to begin with. Just block out the outline and then start to really think in tones again. Start to think in them ribbons. So I'm going to start the timer. Let's do this together. Here we go. And let's make sense of some of this hair. So she's got sort of a round head, and then there's this bun at the back, and there's a few strands. I don't want to get carried away drawing all the strands of hair. Just want to suggest a bit of an outline. Okay, now I'm going to switch to thinking of in tones. I've got charcoal now. So it's quite dark at the top of the head, and then there's highlights here. So let's block in some dark, and then it gradually gets lighter. And then where the bun begins, it gets really dark all of a sudden. And then light in the middle there. And again, going dark at the top of the head to a more light effect. Okay, it doesn't look like much at the moment, bear with me. We can make some of this a little bit smoother. Okay, and now underneath here, got some dark. Thinking of that ribbon, and as the hair falls down her back, it's going from dark to light, dark to light, dark to light. So I can start to put in dark areas. And another thing, if you notice, I'm always going perpendicular to the way the hair is flowing. So for example, the hair is flowing this way from left to right into the bun, and I'm shading up and down. Okay, so that's perpendicular, sort of the opposite direction, or not quite opposite, but like a right angle Now I can start to show some of these strands of hair by sort of doing the negative space around them and in between each bit of hair. Can you see that starting to take effect? There we go. It's all very light here. Okay, now once I've got the tones in, I can start to add in a few of these. Drop the rubber. I can add in a few of these strands. Okay, so you can start to suggest them. So there you go. There's a few strands there, a few in here, just to start to show the kind of energy and the direction of the hair, but not too much. Okay, only in a few select places do we really want to do that. Got a minute left, just under. Okay, maybe even taking the putty rubber and doing a few lines. Not too much. And this begins to work only because I've got them tones down beforehand. Okay, so if I didn't put in that work at the beginning, then it wouldn't come together. Okay, so last few marks, just little suggestions. That's it. And well, it looks like a bit of a mess, but hopefully you've got some hair. Yeah, so really thinking of ribbon, try not to think of too many strands of hair, and have fun with it. Push the charcoal around. This is great. Okay, so we're going to move on. Well done everyone. We're going to move on to trying to attempt a whole portrait in a second. I just want to show you a little segment. Famous faces. Let's give it a go. So I'm looking in the chat. I've altered these faces very slightly, more increasingly so. If you can tell me who this is, you'll win a prize. Okay, so I'm looking in the chat. Who can tell me who this is? A little bit of fun. We've put our drawings down. Who is this? Come on, you know who this is. Tom Hanks. There we go. Ryan, you win. Brilliant. Fantastic. Tom Hanks. There we go. So he had a little bit of alteration, you see, to his forehead, an eye out of place, and the lips were a little bit too small. But it still really looked like Tom Hanks, didn't it? Okay, next one, round 2. Okay. First person will win a prize, okay? Who's this? Who's this? I know the chat's a little bit behind. Nick with Will Smith, well done, you win. There we go, there's Will Smith. So again, I've sort of taken him in Photoshop and messed him up a little bit. So he's got a flat head, and he's got a squashed round head, and his eyes and his nose are a little bit wonky. Well done, Nick. Okay, next one, last one. I'm sure you'll get this straight away as well. Here we go. Who's this? Who's this? Taylor Swift, Ashley with Taylor Swift, fantastic. There we go. Well done, Ashley. So yeah, I've sort of made her nose long. I've put the eye up out of line, and that look at that mouth off to the side. Okay, brilliant. Well done. Okay, so thanks for joining in with that. Nick, was it Nick, Ryan, and Ashley? You win a portrait tutorial, which is happening right now. What was I going to say? Yeah, the reason I showed you them famous faces, okay, is no matter how well you draw each individual feature, okay, we could make them almost photographic like, or better than photos. If they're not in the right place, we're still going to have trouble. Okay, we really want that likeness. We want it to be set and in the right place. So the next part, we're going to do a full portrait, and I'm going to take you through the landmarks of the face. So let's begin. Okay, so this is our portrait. This is what we're going to attempt, and I just want to, there we go, so sort of that sort of size, brilliant. So I'm going to take you through the steps, and then I'm going to give you 20 minutes to really draw this, go into this and have fun with it. And hopefully these guidelines, these landmarks, will put them features that we've learned in the right place, and you'll be confident, you'll be ready to go. Okay, so step one, right, we've got your boundaries, okay, so think about how large you want the face to be on your page, and put the top of the head in, and the bottom of the chin. Okay, so I want mine to be about this big, so you can put in them boundaries now. Okay, it doesn't matter, it could be any size, maybe not really small. I want money or chocolate. Next time, Ryan. And step two. There we go. So we've got this woman's looking straight at us. So we've got, it's going to be a little bit easier for us. So we can put in a center line down the middle. Okay. Center line, and also an eye line. Okay, now can you notice that that's pretty much halfway between the top of the head and the chin? Okay, so eyes, generally you'll find them halfway down the face. So we're starting with this kind of the Templar Knights or something, kind of their logo, isn't it? Okay, everyone got that? Center line and eye line. Next thing, we're going to plot on the eyes. Okay, you can see there's 5 eyes that I've put on there, and let's plot them on. So, and if you notice as well that it's not quite central. Okay, so let's pay attention to that. We've got one eye, 2 eyes. Okay, and they're all going to be the same size. It doesn't have to be exact. Just try your best. That's what we're doing. Okay, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eyes along the middle. Okay, so an eye is a really good unit of measurement, because we can put an eye in between the eyes and outside on the edges of the face as well, and we can use that. So for example, here we can use it, you see that hairline comes straight in the middle of that first eye on the face, so we can use that later on. That's really good. Okay, so you got your 5 eyes on. What's next? Right, the width of the nose. So with a straight line following the center line, okay, we're going to work out the width of the nose. So the right side of the nose is very much in line with the corner of that right eye, and then the other side, it's a little bit further across. So two nice straight lines down. Okay, and then of course you might be thinking, well, Jake, how do I know where to put the nose? I know what it lines up with, but how do I know where? Now this is a little bit tricky, but we'll get it. So it's what we do is we try and capture the angle from the corner, the outside corner of the eye, to the outside corner of the nose. Okay, the corresponding corner. Okay, so I'm gonna have a go, and it's really important that you get that angle the same as you can see on the screen. Okay, so I think I'm nearly there. Okay, so what I mean about getting the angle right, okay, so perhaps say I did this line like this, you know, wouldn't be the same angle there, would it? It's a little bit off. Or perhaps I did it too short. Then when that line meets up with the nose line, that's where we can say, okay, that's the bottom of the nose. Okay, so if I got that angle wrong here or here, this angle, the nose would be further down the face by accident. All right, so I'm going to get it wrong on purpose, and then I'll be thinking, oh, I'll put my nose there, but no. So it's really important that we get this angle correct. And just take a look, make sure your nose isn't too far down the face. That happens a lot. It happens a lot. It's great. That is the hardest bit, I would say. Okay, and then we're on to the next bit. Okay, this is the corners of the mouth, so very similar to the nose. We're going to find where along this eye line the corners of the mouth are. So I would say here on the white of the eye, a little bit along from the nose, I can make a line down, and on the left side it's sort of more central in the eye. Okay, it's almost in the pupil, and a line down. Okay, and that's going to give us the corners of the mouth. And they say, Jake, how do you find, am I going to do another angle? Am I going to, no need. So we've got this nose, and we can use that as a unit of measurement. So bear with me. That block there in the center of the nose that we made, the center that we measured out the nose, we can use that as a unit of measurement. So we can take that with your pencil, tip of the pencil and your finger, that's your unit of measurement, and you can go down, make a little mark. Okay, so that's one more nose down the face. And where does this look like? I would say that's about halfway, half a nose is the line, that occlusion line, that lovely line of the mouth. So let's put on halfway down. Okay, we've measured our nose. Halfway in between there, we've got this mouth line. Maybe a little bit higher than I put. That's one nose, two nose, halfway. Okay, and that's really good. Now we can use that nose measurement for almost anything else on the face. All right, we might use it a little bit later on. So remember that. Now let's figure out the next step. I'm going to get rid of that little nose thing. Okay, and we've got a few more lines to put on. So a few more lines, and then we can really enjoy drawing the face instead of get the measurements done. Okay, so I'm going to put on the the brow line. Okay, I want you to just, your best guess, so it's a little bit above the eye line. Okay, you could even, if you want to check, you could use the nose measurement. Then put on your hairline, so line it where the hair sort of begins. Okay, and also quite helpful is the bottom of the lip. Okay, so bottom of the lip. If you remember, we put them shadows in earlier. It was quite helpful, wasn't it? Okay, so it looks a little bit robotic, a little bit funny, but this is what you should have to start your drawing. And this is kind of like your key to success. Okay, it's all the hard work's done for you, and now you can kind of relax into the drawing. So I'm going to get rid of the grid lines, and we're going to have a 20-minute drawing session. Okay, there we go. So I'll start the timer. Good luck, everyone. Any questions, I'll be looking at the chat. And let's have fun with this one. Got some really nice light coming in from the left side of the face. Okay, so let's continue to draw. You might want to get your rubber and rub out some of these lines, just make them a little bit less obvious. But they're still going to be there on your page, guiding you as you draw. There you go. And this center line, not going to need that anymore. Sorry about that noise. Okay. Ryan says, are we doing another angle? I think the next portrait is a similar angle. Wanted to keep it fairly straightforward. Maybe another week, Ryan. That'd be really good. Can I do your face? Maybe next time, James. All right. So, I think I'm going to go in with some more straight lines and really make sense of this, of the features. So, breaking down curved things with straight lines. Yeah, I've got my brackets and my seagull, outlining any darks that I can see. Remember that occlusion line inside the mouth and then dark parts where the mouth finishes. So I've got all this sketched out. I know how big the mouth is going to be. Well done, everyone. Okay, make sure you rub out these guidelines for the nose. Okay, it can be, make sure we're not outlining the sides of the nose and we're just focusing on any shadow that we can see. Really looking at the eyes, making sure we're getting the right shapes. remember your iris, the coloured part of your eye, of the eyes, are going to be obscured by the eyelids. It's so great to have you drawing along. Fantastic. I've got another 15 minutes. Plenty of time. So remember, I'm not drawing each individual eyelash, but just the group of eyelashes together. How often do I draw? Claire asks. Not often enough. Not often enough. Sometimes, well, before the lockdown, maybe at least every other day. But I get into some bad habits. I don't draw that often. And I found it difficult to motivate myself during this lockdown. I don't know about you guys. A bit more in the lockdown. Brilliant. Thanks, Jake. Good to see you. Thanks for joining in. Enjoy your dinner. Right. I just want to talk about the sides of the face for a second. Okay. So if I use, oh, there we go. That one. If I use the eyes along the center, okay, the 5 eyes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not the security team, IT professionals, but the 5 eyes on the face. So if there wasn't hair, I could see where the end of the face would end. Okay, sometimes it's on there, on that 5th eye. Sometimes it's a little bit sooner than that. But because we've got hair, I can use the hair. I can line the hair up, so that intersection there, and this bit of hair is within that 5th eye. I can put a note for that there, and I'm looking at the side of the face. It matches up in between this 5th eye, in the middle of that 5th eye. So there's the side of the face, and although it's a curved face, if you've got a nice curved face, we want to try and draw this with straight lines, and then curve them off later on, okay? Because straight lines are it's much easier to draw with straight lines and to be accurate. So try and use straight lines like this. So you see this side of the face, the hair is in between this area. The hair is going straight in the middle of that, isn't it? So we can use that as a guide. Right, I'll take that away now. Ryan says, what's my favourite thing to draw? Maybe portraits, you know. Recently. You wouldn't think it looking at this, but yeah, I really am enjoying the portraits. That's just about, you know, getting them hours in, making some time for practice. And this is exactly that. Cars. Linda loves drawing cars. Brilliant. Okay, I think I'm done sort of blocking out all the shadow shapes and things on the face. I'm going to get rid of, losing my rubber, I'm going to get rid of these measurement lines now. Don't really need them. Start to gradually rub out your measurements. Cars. I like drawing cars. Do I? Yeah, I like painting. Like, yeah, I guess, yeah. Right. So for the hair, I'll give you a little bit of extra time. Don't worry. I know I'm talking a load, but I've done another overlay. The hair, I'm thinking of the outline. Okay, outlining these shapes. I'm going to start off by outlining these broad shapes that I can see with straight lines again to be more accurate. Then I'm going to come in and I'm going to do the tones. I'm going to get the ribbon effect. Okay, so I've even outlined some of the real major changes in tone, like up here, you've got that light area and the dark area. So I'll hide that. So that's what I'm thinking about now. I'm going to block out with straight lines the face, the hair on the face. Let's have a look at the eyes. Right, really, the hair is really quite wide on the face. Okay, so we know you can come quite wide with it. Get some of that separation of light and dark. Okay, something like that. Looks like she's got a big hairdo on, but I can always reduce it if I need. Now I'm going to go in with some tone. I've got everything I need there. Hope you guys are enjoying. Thank you, Jane. Oh, not the camera. So when I'm coming to shade, I'm using, try not to smudge with my hand, but I'm going to use the side of the charcoal pencil and going in one direction. You can shade in so many different ways, but this is just the way I like to do it. Start quite light and build up over time. If you want to see a portrait done with charcoal, I'll be doing one starting with charcoal later on, but also I've got a video on my channel where I take you through my process for that. Remember, I'm trying to go perpendicular to the hair, because I don't want you to start thinking that I'm, I don't want the viewer to think that I'm trying to put in strands of hair. I'm trying to show them the tones. If I could spend a bit more time on that. Thank you, Fabienne. Hope you're enjoying, drawing along. Okay, it's been a long time since I've done one in charcoal pencil like this. I really want to just grab the charcoal. Got another 5 minutes. I think I've gone a little bit wide with the nose over time, so I can bring it in a little bit. This side of the face really is quite dark. When you're sketching, it can be easy to sort of lose the drawing underneath. Sometimes try and be quite immediate with your tone and keep coming back into the darks and sharpening up your picture. Okay, let's make sense of this area. So not a lot darker this side of the face. I'm losing the sketch here of the eye. Have to redraw. Whereas with charcoal, you kind of sketch as you go along. With a pencil approach, you can kind of correct as you go. Sorry, I'm talking a lot of rubbish. More tips, Claire. I don't know. Maybe practice drawing before you come on stream to 100 people. I don't know. Something like that. Nah, it's all good. That's what we're here for. Just a bit of drawing time and a bit of fun. So, trying to think of the hair as ribbon. So here I can see it getting lighter, darker, darker, lighter there. So the timer's gone down, but I said I'd give you a little bit more time, so I'll give you another minute or so. And really, just got to assess now and think, right, what's the main problems? So really, I think not that used to using the charcoal pencil, used to going in with the charcoal, and I think I'm struggling with getting that range of tones. Okay, so hopefully later on I can show you that this side of the face needs to be, much, much darker. Have I had fun? Yes, definitely, and that's what counts. But yeah, I think perhaps this paper, perhaps this, starting with the darker pencil, I've kind of lost some definition here. But it's all good. I know for next time. I can't wait to see your ones. Please send them in to jakebussell.art@gmail.com, and we'll try and feature some of them in the second half of this stream. And the ones that don't make it on there, they'll be at the start of next video of the next week. Brilliant. I'm glad you've enjoyed. Okay, so I'm going to take a 5-minute tea break, and I'll be back in 5 minutes, and then we're going to speak to Peter Keegan, amazing portrait artist. He's going to, I need him here, really, don't I? But it's going to be great. And either take a screenshot now and carry on drawing, or go grab yourself a cup of tea, and I'll see you in 5 minutes. Okay. Thanks so much, guys.
Tuesday night, work is done, can't go out, loo roll's gone, kettle's on, put your kettle on, pencils out, news is off, got take out, spend all night with good friends, best friends, life drawing till the end, the bitter end. Get your sketchbooks out, everybody's drawing, that's what it's about. Quarantine is boring, get your sketchbooks out, lock down life drawing. Ooh. Ow. Get your sketchbooks out, everybody's drawing, that's what it's about.
It's what it's about.
Quarantine is boring,
Quite boring.
get your sketchbooks out,
I got my sketchbook out.
lock down life drawing.
Audio on. Hello. Hi guys. Hope you enjoyed the little theme tune there at the break. Managed to get it working this time. We're gonna take a look at Peter Keegan's artwork now and have a chat to him. So let me put up his spotlight. There we go. Lovely. So our artist showcase this week is Peter Keegan, an award-winning professional painter living and working in Buckinghamshire, UK. Peter is a force to be reckoned with in the art world. One half of the Ask an Artist podcast that entertains and informs thousands of artists across the world. He's also a fantastic tutor, both online and in workshops, and director of the Courtyard Art Studio, a bespoke working and teaching space. He recently took up the position of artist in residence at the Aylesbury Waterside Theatre to capture and paint life inside the venue. Peter's work is expressive and modern while maintaining a strong foundation in traditional techniques. His portraits capture much more than a photograph ever could. Life, personality and expression jump off each canvas. Peter, it's wonderful to have you on the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Jake. Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
No worries. Hope that was an okay intro.
It was. I feel very humbled and flattered. Who is this person you're talking about? I don't recognise him at all.
I'm sure it's you. I hope it is anyway. So, thank you so much. So, first of all, Peter, I just want to ask, how are you? How is life in lockdown for you as an artist?
It is. It has its good days and its bad days. When this sort of crisis happened 2-3 weeks ago, there was quite a serious amount of figuring out what I'm going to do with sort of my business. So I direct an art school, which is the Courtyard Art Studio based in North Buckinghamshire, and I'm the director of that school. So it's figuring out how do I kind of manage that in regards to closures and cancellations. As well as then how I'm going to carry on my own creative practice as a commissioned portrait artist and exhibiting selling artist. Yeah. So I'm sort of the last 2-3 weeks have been essentially kind of in damage management and figuring out how on earth this is going to work, sort of not so much in the short term but the long term. And that has a huge impact on my creative output. I've not been particularly inspired or creative, in a creative mood to get into the studio. But today was the first day, actually, that I managed to sort of get myself up and out into the studio and do a bit of painting for myself. I've done, like yourself, a couple of online teaching things because I think it's important to kind of inspire, encourage, and carry on. But today was the first day I kind of took some time for myself as a painter. And you know what? It felt so good to be kind of back pushing paint around and sort of feeling a little bit in control of my own situation, even though I can't be in control of the kind of the wider situation. So it has its sort of highs and lows, days for sure. And you know, I'm fully aware that it's not over yet and it's going to go on for a while.
I'm really sorry, you know, how it's affected you, and I'm really glad to hear that you're getting a little bit of that creativity back and getting a little bit of time back in the studio for yourself. It's really tough for so many people at the moment, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, I'm lucky to be in contact with, you know, so many artists, you know, good friends and colleagues both in this country and globally. And you know what I have been making a lot of time for is reaching out to them and just sort of saying, how are you and what are you up to, and is there anything that I can do, or is there anything that we could do kind of to pull together? And you know, I'm in a more fortunate position than some who I know that their whole year's takings and earnings have just completely disappeared. All their exhibitions and courses and teaching and galleries are all just shut and going to be shut for a good few months yet. And
so devastating.
It is really tough and difficult, kind of for the community that I feel very much attached and part of. But you know, I think we're the lucky ones as creative people, because you know we have that thing, that desire of creating something from nothing by using simple pencil or paint, and it's sometimes that passion and drive that we're the ones that keep going. And ultimately, that's the sort of thing that people kind of look to. They look to the arts, the music and the art and the drama as that thing of inspiration and purpose, because it is kind of what makes us essentially human in a way. So
totally agree.
It's we're the lucky ones, I think, that we have that something that we can at least do over those that haven't got a creative bone in their body.
Yeah, we've definitely all taken stock a little bit and slowed down and perhaps appreciated some things that we didn't in the past, and hopefully the arts can be one of them, you know. I wanted to talk to you. I wanted to ask you, what's the artist support pledge? Because I've seen that chucked around on Instagram, but I didn't know what it was exactly.
Yeah, so the artist support pledge is just something that's popped up on Instagram. I can't credit who came up with it, but it's a wonderful initiative that artists are sort of putting affordable original work out there around about the £200 mark. Can be cheaper, it can be more expensive. And the kind of initiative is that when you as an artist, if you make enough sales that reach £1,000, then you will then also yourself spend some of that £1,000 that you've made on another artist's artwork who's a part of this artist pledge. So you're kind of, it's a way of kind of, you know, looking to your own...
passing it forward a little bit.
Your own community to purchase your work, and then you can then purchase another artist's work as a way of supporting them. So it's got this wonderful initiative of sharing and encouraging people to, you know, to keep going, but at an affordable, reasonable rate as well.
Yeah, so I really encourage people to take a look and see if, you know, some of their favourite artists are doing that artist support pledge at this time. I think that's a great initiative. Yeah, really cool. So Peter, a little bit more about you now. I wanted to ask you, what brought you to painting in oils, and how did you find yourself as a working artist? You know, did it sort of develop over time? How did that happen?
So I did the kind of traditional thing at school. I was pretty good at art at school, so I did it at GCSE and then took it to A level. And then my passions and interests were such that it eventually then took me to do a fine art degree at Cardiff School of Art. So I did 3 years of painting, and I've specialised in kind of portraiture since then. When I found out I got into university at the age of 17, I thought, I best buy myself an oil set, because up until that moment at school I'd always worked in acrylics.
Yeah.
So I took myself off to, I think, Hobbycraft or a similar shop and bought myself a set of oil paints, and I painted sort of my first ever portrait. And since that day I've pretty much worked exclusively in oils, because there was something wonderful about the lusciousness of oil paint and the
really
texture and the way it moved around, and I could sculpt with it, and it was just a fascinating, beautiful material to play with that completely converted me, and I was under its spell, and I still am to this day. So I kind of work exclusively in oil paint, certainly for my portraiture, and I'm very lucky to be a brand ambassador for Michael Harding oil paints, which are some of the most sublime oil paints ever made. So that's sort of me under the spell of oils, and how I got to being a kind of a working artist. I mean, that has organically happened. It's taken a lot of perseverance and sort of self-discipline in giving myself time to develop my practice, to really commit to learning how to paint and how to craft, specifically faces for me, practicing and drawing, and then every now and then picking up the odd little commission, sometimes as when I started as little as 50 quid, and slowly sort of building up enough confidence in myself where I thought, well, I'll put this painting into this little local exhibition, or I'll do this little local art fair and start showing my stuff, and then the painting, the commissions would come through, and you take the next step up as being an artist, and you put your prices up a little bit, and you have a little bit enough money to think, I'll make an online gallery, a website, and slowly this snowball just gets this little bit bigger and this little bit bigger, and it starts and then building momentum.
And you can kind of quit the day job, I guess. You can quit the part-time. Was there a point where you were like, right, I'm jumping off, this is it, no more income from anywhere else, I'm a professional artist? Or
yeah, so that happened around about 6-7 years ago. I've always had other sorts of jobs which were always part-time jobs, often in the education sector, because when you work in education you often have these really wonderful chunks of holiday time, your half terms,
they're great,
holidays and so on, so it kind of gives you nice sort of deep down time to kind of engage and
shout out
get into
to everyone on half term now, although it doesn't feel like one.
Exactly, yeah. This is an extended school holiday, this one. I've got 2 young children who are currently not in school. I get the pleasure of having them at home all day. So, it's like one long kind of holiday at the minute. For some people it is anyway.
Thanks
so
so
much. I always had sort of part-time jobs here, there and everywhere. Sometimes it was just 1 or 2 days a week, and that employment just made sure that the rent or the mortgage or the bills was covered, and then I'd have some time to sort of do my art on the time. But it got to a point eventually where I was constantly having to say no. I was having to turn down
that's the dream,
work
right?
and opportunities.
That's the dream, having to turn down work. That's great.
Yeah. But the reason I had to turn it down is because I had this part-time job. And,
right, sorry.
My wife and I kind of sat down and thought, right, maybe this is the time where we give up the security and the regularity of a salaried income and try and do it alone with the art. And my father gave some really kind of good advice. He said, if you give your art job, your self-employment as an artist, if you give it 3 days a week, it will only be a 3-day-a-week job. If you quit your 2-day-a-week salary job and add it to your artistic, self-employed artist job, you get 2 extra days. He said, now on those extra 2 days, you're not just going to be sitting around doing nothing. You're going to work solidly over those 2 days. And because you've had those extra 2 days, you will then hopefully gain more work and more income, thus making up for what you've lost. So it took a lot of hard work, and even to this day I spend sometimes as much time on the computer doing marketing and PR and advertising and all those other logistical things, as opposed to being in front of my easel. But that's the kind of the business side of art, and I was aware early on that if I wanted to succeed as a professional working jobbing artist, that I was going to have to treat it like a business and give those business side elements to the job as much focus as colouring in.
They kind of throw around this 20-80 comparison where it's 20% artwork, 80% marketing, and I would say there's truth in that. I really would. And I just want to talk to you about your podcast and share it with our viewers. The Ask an Artist. it's really wonderful. It covers some very interesting and essential subjects for aspiring artists. Copyright laws recently, finding your own style, dealing with commissions, and even looking into the how paint's made. Where can we find it? And tell us about your podcast.
Yeah, so the podcast was the brainchild of myself and my fellow friend and artist Laura Boswell. And Laura Boswell is a internationally, if not nationally renowned printmaker, specialising in either lino print or Japanese woodblock print. And I'm, as well as being a good friend, she's actually very local to me. So it's one of the things our paths kind of crossed quite early on, about 10 years ago or so. And because both Laura and I are kind of very kind of committed to this business side of art, we kind of enjoy the business side as much as the production of art. We're very committed to it. Both Laura and myself were often approached by other artists, both emerging, amateur, or even working, would come to us and pick our brains on all sorts of things of how we did it, why we do it, and so on. And Laura and I thought there must be a way that we can kind of share this in a much way, and a way that we'd like to share freely and not monetize off it. And we thought maybe perhaps a podcast is a way that we just chat about all these wonderful topics that we approach sometimes in the same way, sometimes in a different way, get it recorded on tape, put it in the podcast, and then it's there for everyone. And we've been completely overwhelmed by the amount of people who have been listening, not just in this country but around the world, who have, based upon what we've been talking about, have taken their steps to becoming an artist and have successfully approached a gallery and now being represented. Brilliant. Who have taken up commissions, who are now represented by an artist's brand, a kind of a company of material makers, among many other things as well. So it's something that we love to do. We love sharing what we know. There are lots of things we don't know, which we freely admit, but that we do know, we try and give and share as much as possible. So there's a range of episodes from kind of dealing with the selling side of art, how you sell yourself, how you price your work, how you approach galleries, to kind of the marketing side of things like websites and mailing lists, to really kind of the mental health side of things, how you protect yourself as an artist, both as you said, legally with copyright law, but also the kind of how do you deal with criticism, how do you deal with failure, how do you cope with negative feedback or bad days in the studio. And we discuss all these things and talk about not only our experiences but other artists and makers' experiences in this as well. So it
really is. I would describe it as sort of a holy grail if anyone's thinking of going professional. Really, really good advice and sort of the things you don't learn in art school. Or you don't learn anywhere apart from them conversations in a pub with an artist. So thank you so much for putting that on tape and for doing that for us, for the community. That's brilliant.
No, it's a pleasure. It's a really, we love doing it, and we're gonna, even though Laura and I can't get into a studio together to record these, we're going to record these remotely at the moment. Good. So from each of our houses and our studios, and we'll continue kind of talking and discussing and sharing and finding some great people to interview to give us more information about this, the business of art world. It's all the information we wish we knew when we started, and it's out there now for everyone to enjoy. So
that's askanartist.com, is it?
Yeah, it's askanartistpodcast.com. If you just put Ask an Artist into Google, but we're also on Facebook and Instagram,
Spotify,
Ask an Artist
everywhere.
Podcast.
Yeah, everywhere that you can get podcasts, I imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's on Apple and Spotify and Acast and everywhere. It's pretty out there.
Brilliant. And I just wanted to a more light-hearted question, I guess, but I heard that you're really into art books and maybe even a little bit of a hoarder, like most of us. But I wanted to ask you, what are some of your favourites, or what's your favourite art book that you've got, if you can?
Well, I'm literally in the middle of reading one right now, and it's one I've read 2 or 3 times, and it's one that sort of helped me get my creative juices flowing again, if you like. So it's the Alla Prima book by Richard Schmidt.
Fantastic book.
Yeah, so
absolutely.
It's kind of for many representational painters out there in the world, a lot of them kind of create this as their kind of their mantra, their Bible, if you like, of all the kind of key principles of painting. And So I'm kind of dipping into that, and it's sort of
It's one
a
of
lot
them
it is
books.
information that I know. It's just lovely to see it
Yeah.
written down and written so eloquently.
It
and
reinforces
humour
them.
and
Yeah.
not full of gobbledygook. It's just so easy to kind of comprehend, and it makes sense. And then you suddenly you feel like pennies are dropping when you read it, and then you kind of suddenly feel inspired to get off and get into the studio and start painting or drawing. So it's a really wonderful book.
It's
for sharing
so well
such valuable
explained, isn't it?
information.
So well explained. And actually, my brother bought me that a few Christmases ago, and it's a little bit difficult to get over here sometimes, but so worth the money and so worth the postage. I would say, yeah, if you're looking at oil paints, I would definitely agree with you. That Alla Prima. Have you got the second version, Alla Prima 2?
I do,
Primer?
yes.
Yeah,
And I don't know if you know, but Richard's, I think he's in the process of writing a whole book on portraiture as well, which
Brilliant.
he's in the process of writing now. So I'm personally looking forward to it.
It put you out of business, Peter. It put you out.
Oh, I'm happy. I'm happy to bow down to
That's
the masters, and there's no competition here. We're all in this
Of course.
together. We all do it in our own wonderful, unique ways.
One plus one is
explain
2.
what we do
It's
passionately.
100%, 100%. So I want to wrap this up a little bit, but just what would you say for some people? Oil paints can be quite daunting. What would you say for someone, the beginner, that's sort of thinking, I'd quite like to try oils? How would they go about that? How would you suggest that?
Okay, so there's a huge misconception that if you want to be an oil painter, you need to buy loads of paraphernalia. So you need to buy all these potions and potions and mediums and all that sort of stuff. And you can, but you don't have to. And I'm one of those artists that don't. I just use the paint out the tube, and that's it.
And it
the
helps.
Only thing I use to do is to clean my brushes. So I use like a low odor solvent, sort of turpentine mineral spirit, and I use that just to clean my brushes. But I use the tiniest amount to put on my palette just to paint with. But apart from that, I just use the paint neat. So it doesn't have to be complex. Yes, there are these mediums and liquids and linseeds and all these wonderful additives which change the property of the paint, but you don't need it. That's the important thing. You can use it, but you don't need it. And there are plenty of artists out there, like myself, who don't use any of those. They use the kind of just the paint itself. Secondly, don't buy tons of paints. Just buy a few colours. Just buy your 3 primary colours and a white, maybe a brown if you're not confident about doing that. And just sort of play with it. Try not to be scared or take it too seriously. It's no scarier than any other medium. The only kind of scary thing some people have is maybe the fact that it can be quite dangerous or flammable, and it is only dangerous or flammable if you put it inside your body. If you don't eat it or stick it in your eyes or ears, you'll be absolutely fine. Work in a relatively well ventilated area, so crack a window. There's no serious dangers apart from that, and just have a little play. What you'll discover with oil paint is just how it wants to move. You'll be able to blend with it. If you're a blender, if you love detail, it gives you wonderful opportunity to create the most beautiful form and shape and depth. But if, like me, you're more of an expressive loose painter, you can get some wonderful dynamic marks and thick texture which you're just unable to achieve in any other medium. And depending on the paint that you buy, the intensity of colour is second to none. You cannot get the strength and the vividness of some colours compared to, say, acrylic or watercolour. There's something about oil that just gives you such a strength of colour which is completely unparalleled.
It is, I would say, the ultimate, in terms of that amazing gloss and vibrance in them colours. Peter, I just put some of your work up again, and I just want to say how much I love your work. This expressiveness and your values are so right. The information's there, but you've also got this energy about your work. And I know I saw you do a live stream a few days ago now on your Instagram. Are you planning to do any more of them, or can some of our viewers watch you in action anytime soon?
Yeah, so there's a few ways that you can watch me. If you go on YouTube and put my name, Peter Keegan, in, you should find a couple of bits of videos of me on there.
Brilliant.
If you go onto my Instagram or Facebook page, just put Peter Keegan Artist, and there's some time-lapse videos, and you can see some of the things that I've been doing, either as step-by-step stills or as time-lapse videos. if you go onto my website, which is peterkeegan.com, I have some downloadable videos that I have filmed. So I've done some online courses that you can buy and download, and it's things like painting portraits or landscapes, figures, and other such stuff as well.
Lovely.
So you can have a little go at those. But as you rightly said, every Thursday I'm doing a live stream on Instagram. So if you follow me on Peter Keegan Artist, if you tune in at 8 p.m. on Thursday nights, every Thursday, while this whole scenario is going on, you will see me painting live, and you can ask questions, and I'll interact with you as much as possible. Similar to what we're doing tonight, Jake, but just through Instagram.
Fantastic. So just after we clap the NHS, get on down to Peter Keegan's Instagram at 8 p.m. on a Thursday. That's fantastic. I'm really looking forward to tuning in again this week, Peter. Thank you so much for coming on and talking to us. Everyone go and follow Peter. Peter Keegan Artist on Instagram, and the details are on the screen. Peter, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, guys. Everyone keep safe, take care, keep drawing and painting, and we'll all get this through together.
You too, Peter. Thank you so much. Speak to you soon.
Take care. Bye.
Brilliant. Wow. That was really, really something. An amazing... Hello. Amazing guy, Peter. Really, I want to get on them podcasts. I want to listen to some of this magic, and wish him all the best during this time, and hope that he can continue doing the great work that he does. So we're gonna let's take a look at our schedule. Where's the schedule? There we go. Where are we? We're there. Boom. Just spoken to Peter, and we're on to our second portrait. So hopefully all of them features and the putting the face together, the structure, we can put that into this final portrait. Okay, we've got a 25-minute, so a little bit more time. It's not an awful lot of time, but hopefully we can we can really have a good go at this one. So I hope you're raring to go. Let's load up the portrait. Here we go. So really quite a dramatic lighting and dramatic pose. I hope you really enjoy this. I'm going to start the timer, 25 minutes. I hope you enjoy, and I'll have the chat open if anyone has any questions. There we go. Right, cups of tea's down. Let's do it. Really, really wonderful hearing from Peter. And now, let's get back to sketching. Okay, so we can't see the top of this guy's head, so I'm not going to be putting that in, but I don't know, the camera's lined up straight. We can't put in the top of the guy's head, but I will start on that main body of the face. Okay, so I'll start with the eye line, the nose, maybe the brow line, the mouth, and the chin. Okay, and we can use that, and we can work out from that. Okay, so it's not, we don't have to have the whole head in straight away. Let's give it a go. We can begin to put them 5 eyes across the face. My camera's a little bit on the wonk, but it is straight. There we go. Okay, and then finding the width of the nose, so coming into the eye quite a lot, so I can use these boundary lines. And guys, please remember to send your work in. We're going to take a look at some in a minute after this one. Okay, and let's come from the corner of the eye down to find where the nose should be. Lovely. We've got our nose measurement. You can really see the shape, that dark shape of the top lip, and we can block that in roughly. And the shape created underneath the bottom lip. So really thinking about the shape of the eyes again. Look at that eyelid wrapping round the eyeball. Not just almond shapes, but really observing, really paying attention to the shapes that we can see. And the distance between the eyes, remember, is another eye. Most of the time. Here we go. So I am putting on some lines to just separate the light and dark. And here, this side of the face, okay, I'm going to lose the edges, so I don't even need to put the side of the face because it's all just going into black. Okay, so it's going to be a lost edge. Now, something I haven't talked about is shoulders. Okay, where do shoulders sort of interact with the body, with the face? And all I'd say is, line them up. So here, I've got a. Let's get one of these horizontal lines. Okay, what does that shoulder line up with the bottom of the nose? So I know that the shoulder's coming in there. And what does the other shoulder line up with? Sort of the corner of the mouth there. Okay, so I can put that on. I know they've got the corner of the mouth, and I've got this other shoulder coming off. So I'm using anchor points and little measurements that I can all over the face, all coming together to make sense for the portrait. Okay, so just going to put in some little suggestion of the brows here. He's got a really fierce well, not fierce, I think it's moody, isn't it? I think this guy's a musician, and he's trying to show depth of character, something like that. And okay, so I've got some sketching lines down now. I'm going to get the side of my charcoal and have some fun. so really looking forward to seeing some of your work on the stream and having a little chat to you. If you want to join in, send your work into jakebustleart.art @gmail.com, and we'll try and get yours on stream. And if you'd like to have a chat at the end of the stream, we're on Discord, and you can find the link to that in the description of the video, and you can call in on your phone or on your PC and have a chat. Let us know how you got on. So some of these edges here are really lost, so I'm just going to put loads of this charcoal down and lose the edge. Going back to the darks, reinforcing the darks all the time. Much prefer using charcoal, as you can get down what you want to much quicker. Hey. Still not quite done. I need to keep putting charcoal on. Right, got a nice charcoal mess to play around with now. So I'm gonna have one finger with charcoal on it to blend the darker areas, and another finger with no charcoal to lift the charcoal from the page. Okay, so let's have a go. Lighter areas using the other lifting finger. Just kind of smoothing over areas and getting a few transitions. See if we can do some things with the putty rubber. If I can find it. Hey, trod it in the carpet. Hey. Here we go. So I've got a nice mess on the page now, and now I'm just sort of making sense of it. Might be a bit early to be pulling out highlights, but I feel I need to make sense of some of this drawing a bit more. Go back in with the charcoal. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Lucy. I wish you were here to see me panic. The sweat on my fingers is not mixing well with the charcoal. That's all good. Yeah, I'm not getting a good blend today. Maybe I can do a bit of Sean Open and use the kitchen paper instead of my fingers. Maybe that'll help us out. There we go. Getting a few transitions. Okay, so ears, similar to the shoulders. Just got to be thinking where are they lining up, and I would say they're lining up just below the eye. I can put a suggestion of the ear. Yeah, I'm really getting sweat problems on the page. Let me know what you're drawing with, you know. Let me I'm gonna be taking a look in a second. It's gonna be fun. Be back in a second. You got a couple more minutes. There we go, that's what I was looking for. Okay, that's time, guys. I'll let you do a few little finishing touches. I think I would have gone a bit stronger with the tones, perhaps. But there we go. Sort of angry looking guy. I think I've got a few errors, a few things where the sweat on my fingers hasn't let me blend very well. So maybe using the tissue paper for that would have earlier on would have helped. And yeah, I mean, it's good to give it a go and see how it comes out. You know, sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're not. And I'm gonna have a little look at your stuff now. Right, give me one moment. Can't wait. Hey, cool, got the old fingers. So, brilliant, we've got some callers. We've got some people to come in. I'm really looking forward to that. Let's have a look at the viewer gallery first and see if there's any images in there. Nothing at the moment. Let's have a look. Oh, something popped up. Let me go back to that. Here we go. Fantastic. All right, I've got some images up. Let me just sort that out. Fantastic. Right, so I can go left and right like that. Brilliant. Ah, okay. This is my favourite bit, where I don't have to sweat. I can look at your work. It's fantastic. Amber, I love these eyes. Okay, you've really captured that the sense of the eyelid being on the eyeball, haven't you? That left one especially, I can really see it wrapping round the eye. Really lovely, and a good use of contrast there on the pupil and the shine, the little glint in the eye. Really nice, and they work together well as well. They work together really well. The nose, really lovely done as well. You've clearly got that shadow side of the nose, which we were looking for, and on the right side you've used the shadow to describe the nose. So really well done, and you haven't made too much of the nostrils or outlined the nose in any way. You've done fantastically. Yeah, well done everyone. Thanks so much for joining in. Let's have a look. Zella, Zella, brilliant. I think I saw you in the chat. This is wonderful. This is absolutely beautiful. Wow. So you've done some lovely blending. You've kept them key points. The eyes, they're so sort of, they're delicate, but then you've put the darks in where you need to. Okay, like them the eyelashes, and wow, there's some really lovely modelling going on here. Really lovely sculpting. You've wonderful render of the hair that really feels like it's you know, strands of hair. That's lovely, and you've got that occlusion shadow in the mouth, the dark parts. Really, there's so much good about this. I absolutely love it, and perhaps most of all, the fact that you've got a clear light side on the left side of the face and a clear dark side on the right side of the face. It can be very easy to miss that and to sort of start shading here, there, and everywhere, kind of like how I was today. But you've thought of it as a holistic whole picture. Really well done. Oh, no name for this one. I love this though. So you've got the expression, and you've got some you know, so much of that kind of that roughness of the face, that kind of texture of the beard, and everything that was going on there. You know, I love it. It's got character. He looks like he's, I don't know. He's waiting in line somewhere, and he's like, come on. But I love it. Well done. Oh, look at this. This is fabulous. Again, no name, but this is absolutely wonderful. You've used you've really understood the paper. Okay, you've really got great use of texture, and you've kept them highlights absolutely fabulously. Wow. Yeah, give yourself a tap on the back. That is fantastic. I'd love to know who that was. Really, really nice. Look at that clear dark on the top of the top lip, and then the light, and then dark again. Okay, really, really clear. And if you look at the bottom lids of the eyes, you can really sense that there's like a drop. There's like a wall of shadow, and them eyes are encompassing these globes, these circles. So it's fantastic, and I love the way it kind of spirals out onto the page. Oh, Ashley, this is wonderful. Oh, I love this. Lovely little sketch. Really paid attention to the fundamental parts, and them little donut shaped shadow parts at the side of the mouth. Really lovely, Ashley. Nice little signature too. Oh wow, okay, we've got the whole lot here. This is brilliant. D.D. Smith, well done. Fantastic. Oh, just taking that in. That's lovely. So you've got the eye thing at the nose. Oh, so you've done a little bit of cheating going on. You've done the nose and mouth twice. It's great. Really good. Getting some good practice in. And I've got to say my favourite bit's the hair, because you've got that kind of wavy, a little bit frizziness to the hair, without using too many lines. So really well done. I love that. I really do. Well done all round for the whole exercise page. Really, really nicely done. Ah, brilliant! Another page. Love another page. Look at that. Okay, the eyes are nice and connected. They're intent, aren't they? They're really staring. The hair, wonderful. You've kind of, you've taken everything of that ribbon effect, and the way the light and the dark play off each other there really give the sense of depth and different layers of hair going into that bun at the back of the head. Really, really nicely done. I love the mouth and the nose too. Who is that? I can't quite read that. Tesha, is it Tesha? Maybe in the chat. Sorry, I can't read it quite. Let me know in the chat, and I'll call your name out. Oh wow. Okay, another one. Oh, it's Rika Kumi. Rika Kumi art. Thank you so much. I love it. This one, okay, another no name on this one, but thank you so much for sharing. Oh wow, yeah, I don't know. I just love the use of the smudge and the like, just enough description of hair. Like that little band around the bob. Doesn't that describe to you? Okay, this is the back of the head now, and this is where the hair is going to begin to fall. Like, it all is going towards that point, and it's nicely described with not too much. Okay, and that's one of the big things to get in drawing, is how can you describe something with as little as possible. Really nicely done. Oh, lovely face. Some good cross hatching. And really, I can see you've got you've really paid attention to the measurements and everything there. Love that. Love it. Well done on the eyes. And you've really paid attention there, because you've even gone darker where the sort of tear ducts are. And if you look, they were much darker there. So well done. It's really nice. Another good one. Fantastic. Got a good expression on this one. This is good. And the hair, you know, if you've gone from light at the top, and it's contrasting against the left side of the face, left side of the hair, then it's gradually going darker, and it's going lighter again, exactly where the reference was. So really well done, really well done. Hey, oh, we got a little name, Poppy. Oh, well done, Poppy. This is great. This is lovely. Ah, love it. Okay, really clear light and dark side of the face. So that's number one. Fantastic. You've got some really well observed eyes. Very clear and well observed. Again, occlusion shadow in the mouth. Okay, and that was, you know, that's really important to get that wavy line right. And yeah, and I can see that you've really thought about the tones in the hair as well. So, Poppy, well done. I'm so pleased with that. Thank you for sending it in. Oh wow, another lovely one. Now this one looks very similar to the other one that was sent in. So, I'm assuming this is someone who. Let me know in the chat who this is. But yeah, wonderful image. Absolutely lovely. I love the kind of the lost and found ness about it. Thank you so much. See you next week. I love the lost and found to it, and look at that eye in the shadow area. It's not overstated too much, is it? It's just sort of, I want to say scribbled, but it's not scribbled. It's put on with purpose, but it's not been described too much. Really, really lovely. Absolute masterclass there. Brilliant. Oh, and that's the end of the images that have come in. Thank you so much. Sorry, someone came to the door. Here we go. Ah, cool. So, thanks so much for sending your work in. As I said, we'll make sure that all of your work is shown next week. So tune in same time next week, 7:30 BST, British Summer Time. So that's the UK time. And yeah, please subscribe. Make sure you're enjoying sketching. Yeah. Sorry, what? I was just distracted. 1 second. What was that? Have we got anyone calling in? Max? We got.
There's Ryan, but I don't know if the desktop audio for your Discord's going to work, so you might be able to get him through the phone.
Oh, okay, I'll have a go.
Give it a try.
Cool. Hello. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. It's been an absolute pleasure. I love getting to share drawing with you and inspiring you to draw. Oh, is there someone there? Just thank you so much. So we're going to have a little chat now, maybe a Q&A if anyone wants to come on onto the Discord. But yeah, if not, see you next week. Thank you so much and have a good week. Stay safe. Look after yourselves. Look after everyone. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Gina. Thanks, Jamie. Good to see you again. Charmaine, thank you so much for tuning in. Ashley, thank you. Naomi, thank you so much. I miss so many of you. It's so sad. Luke, thank you so much. Miss you. Miss the class. Lucy, hi again. Hi, Steve. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're doing well. Jean, thank you so much. Good to see you. yeah, I thought it was a nice couple of hours of drawing, and really good to hear from Peter. So please go and check him out. I'll put all the links in this video if you want to come back to this in a bit. Peter Keegan, really nice. Thank you, Nick. Thanks so much. Thanks, Claire. Thanks for tuning in. Cool. All right, let's have a look. Thanks, Linda. Let's see if Ryan. I think Ryan wants to have a chat. Let's have a look. Hello, who's there? Oh, no one's there. Hello, who's there? Hey, Ryan. Hey. Hey, good to have you on. You're live. Yeah, good. I'm very sweaty, but yeah. I don't know if you could see the. Yeah, I was very sweaty and shaky, but it's good. No audio. We're gonna. Oh, here we go. Hold on a second. Hello. Can I hear you now? Let me just check. We didn't have your audio. Hold on a second. Let the stream catch up. We couldn't hear you, Ryan. We couldn't. You were the quiet man. Is that any better? We got you now. We got him now.
No, there's some technical difficulties.
Really, technical difficulties.
Yeah, I believe that's the technical term.
Oh, okay.
Technical audio difficulties.
Okay.
If you could go from your phone onto Discord if you want.
Yeah. So it's just not working at all.
It's the stream. You'd need to restart OBS.
Oh, okay.
Which will
So
bring the stream down. So.
Okay. So sorry guys, we messed up the stream a little bit, so we couldn't get the call-ins today. But Ryan, have you got my number? Give me a call. Hello? He's gone. Right. Anyway, guys, see you next week. Hopefully we'll get that sorted out. Thanks so much, and see you next week. Oh, I've got a call. Here we go. Hello.
Hello.
Hey Ryan, I'm going to put you on the speaker. 1 sec.
Okay.
We will get there. We will get there.
My live stream's a bit delayed, so.
That's okay.
How are you?
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Graham. Thanks, Rosie. I'm good. Yeah, I'm. Could use the loo, to be honest. There you go. You're on. You're online. You're on.
Hey.
Hey.
It was really good tonight, man.
Thank you. How was the pool? Yeah, come
I'll
on.
tell you what, like, I'm not very good at drawing. I'll tell you that. But like, I learned about the hair thing was fascinating because I always do like strand spaghetti hair.
Spaghetti hair. Fantastic.
So yeah, it was amazing, and just what you do with your charcoal is mental. But yeah,
Sometimes maybe, but not tonight.
I thought it was brilliant.
Thanks so much for tuning in. So it's you and Amber at yours.
Yeah, Amber's here.
Sketching along. Hi, Amber.
Yeah.
Hiya.
She's much better than I am.
You're getting better.
And Ryan, I'm so chuffed that you're giving it a go and learning, and I love it. Thank you so much.
If you look at week 1, picture 1, it's a lot better now.
That's it. Keep it up. What else are we going to do? Carry on watching Netflix, or
Yeah, definitely.
No, brilliant.
I watch all your. I have to sharpen my pencil though. I need to get a knife and follow your video.
Yeah, yeah. Not a kitchen knife. Get a proper craft knife. Brilliant. Thanks, Vivian. Thanks, Rod. Thanks, guys. All right, I'll see you next week.
All right, mate. Have a good one.
Thanks for calling in, Ryan. I'll speak to you soon.
I'll speak to you soon, mate.
Thanks, Jake.
Cheers, Amber. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye. Stay safe. Love you.
And you. Love you too.
Bye bye. Alright, thanks guys. We got there in the end. We got a call in. We'll work on it. Have a good week. I'll see you next week, hopefully. Thanks so much.